Hello, Algebra 2 students. This is page 2 of your Unit 1 review. In 9 through 12, we are finding slope. We're going to tell if the line increases or if it decreases, if it's horizontal, or if it's vertical. So remember, an increasing line would have a positive slope, a decreasing line would have a negative slope, horizontal is a zero slope, and vertical is an undefined slope. In problem 1, we're going to use the slope formula. The slope is the second y minus the first y over the second x minus the first x. So 3 minus 9 over negative 7 minus negative 1. Minus negative 1 is the same as plus positive, so it's negative 7 plus 1. So then we get negative 6 over negative 6, which is positive 1. So my slope is 1. And because my slope is positive, it's going to be increasing. In problem 2, we have y equals 2. So y equals 2 means all of the y values are 2. So on a graph, here's where y is 2, and here are all of the y values of 2. That's what your line would look like. Because this line is completely flat, it's not steep at all, your slope here is 0. And then the direction is horizontal. Okay, in 11 we're going to go back to your slope formula. So the slope is the second y minus the first y. 5 minus negative 3 is the same as 5 plus 3. 2 minus 4. So I get 8 over negative 2, which is negative 4. So my slope is negative 4. And because my slope is negative, my line is decreasing. Okay, and the last one is x equals 4. So in x equals 4, all of the x values are 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All of the x values are 4 in a vertical line, like this. A vertical line is said to have undefined slope, and here's why. You know that your slope is rise over run. Well, your rise could be 1, or it could be 2 or 3. It could be any number depending on which points you pick. So let's just say that your rise is 1. But your run left and right, you didn't take a run, so that would be a 0. And you're not allowed to divide by 0. And this is why you would say that your slope is undefined. So in this case, the slope is undefined. And that's because it's a vertical line. Okay, in 13 to 14, we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. In 13, we know the slope, so we know the m. But we need to find the b. So to find the b, you're going to use these values for x and for y. So I like to start by writing y equals mx plus b. And then I'll substitute 12 for the y, 3 for the m, and substitute 2 for the x. And I don't know b, so that stays b. So then multiply 3 times 2, I get 6 plus b, and subtract the 6, and I end up with 6 equals b. So once you know the m, they gave it to us, and you know the b, then you can write your equation. Y equals, instead of m, write 3 times x plus, and instead of b, write 6. Okay, in 14, you can do the same thing. Y equals mx plus b. Slope is your m. Substitute in for x and y. So 6 equals 0 times negative 5 plus b. 0 times negative 5 is 0, so I have 6 equals 0 plus b, which means b equals 6. So then when I substitute back in, I'll put 0 for my slope, plus 6. But 0 times any number is going to still be 0, so this can actually combine, and you just get y equals 6. So that makes sense, because we already saw a line that had a y equals a number, and it was a horizontal line straight across, which matches up with your slope of 0. Okay. In 15 and 16, we have an extra step. We need to get our equation in standard form. So standard form is a times x plus b times y equals c. But there are some rules. The a value has to be positive, and neither a nor b can be a fraction. So let's look at 15. I'm going to start the same way as before with y equals mx plus b. And my m is 1/2. Here's my x and my y. So negative 2 goes for the y, and 6 for the x, and I don't know b. Alright, 1/2 times 6, negative 2 equals 6 over 2 plus b, and 6 over 2 is 3. Negative 2 equals 3 plus b. Subtract the 3. So negative 5 equals b. So in slope-intercept form, my equation is y equals 1/2 x plus negative 5 or minus 5. But I need to now get my equation in standard form. So I need to have my x term positive and my y term next to it. So I'm going to keep my x here, and I'm going to move my y over here. So when I move my y over, I subtract it. I have 0 equals 1/2 x minus y minus 5, and then I'm going to add my 5 to move that over. Okay, so 5 equals 1/2 x minus y. So now I still have a problem because I have a fraction. So to get rid of this fraction, I'm going to multiply both sides by this denominator 2. So I'm going to do 2 times 5, and I'm going to do 2 times this side as well. So now I have 10. 2 times 1/2 x is x, and 2 times y is 2y. So here I have all my rules followed, but if I want it to look exactly like standard form, then I can write the x minus 2y on the left. So x minus 2y equals 10, and that's standard form. Okay, in problem 16, I still have a slope, so I'm going to still start with y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to substitute negative 4, negative 2, and 3. So negative 4 equals negative 6 plus b, and this time I add 6 to both sides, and I'm going to get b equals 2. So then I have y equals negative 2 is my slope times x, and positive 2 is my b, my y-intercept. So now to get this one into standard form, all I need to do is move my negative 2x to the left. It will become positive, and I think it will just look perfect. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. And now I have 2x plus y equals 2, and that's my equation in standard form. Okay, so that's the end of page 2. If you need help with page 3, then open the new video.